video of ACUK Online, and thank you for liking and subscribing to our channel. Today I'll be doing an explanatory video on the topic of decision trees. Decision trees is a very important topic in your A2 level business studies. This lecture can also be useful for any other students who are using decision trees in their bachelor's degree, undergrad, or in any other exam where they need to learn decision trees. Okay, so now let's start the video.
Okay guys, so A2 Business Studies topic. This is from the unit of Objectives and Strategy, and this is the topic of decision trees. Now decision trees is a quantitative decision making model that is used by many businesses, and this is applied to problems for which the probability of different consequences is known and the financial outcome of the decision can be estimated. It will map out different options and allows the best to be chosen. Now we will first look at an example of the process of a decision tree. As you can see that this is something similar to what you have studied in your mathematics as the probability and the tree diagram. So this is almost similar to that same concept. Now over here we are looking at an example of a company that wants to expand by opening a new outlet. Now the square will always denote the point where a decision is being made. So the decision in this case is that they want to decide whether they want to open a new outlet or no. And then we have when the business is starting to opening a new outlet, there are uncertainties about two things, which can be the economy growing or economy not growing. Now when the economy is expected to grow, there will be an expected outcome of 300,000, and if the economy is not doing so well, that means the economy is declining, the expected outcome will be a loss of 500,000. So we can see that the business will face uncertainty regarding the state of economy, and because this state of economy is an external factor which is outside the business's direct control. However, this economic growth or economic decline will definitely affect their decision of opening the new outlet. So the chances of the economy growing or the economy declining is given in the form of a percentage, which over here we are writing as the 0.7 and 0.3. So this is the probability of each outcome and it is drawn on the tree. So the economy increasing, the chances of economy increasing is 70%, that we have shown as 0.7, and the chances of economy declining is 0.3. The circle will denote the point where different outcomes could occur. The estimates of the probability and expected outcome allow a calculation of the likely return. So in this example, if the economy increases and the business has opened up a new outlet, so 0.7 multiplied by 300,000, the expected outcome is of 210,000. So we are multiplying the outcome with the probability of that event, and then if the economy declines, the probability 0.3 multiplied by 500,000, which was the outcome of the economy as a result of economy declining. Now because this 500,000 was a loss, so our answer will be in negative, which is negative 150,000. When we are calculating the expected value, what we do is we simply add up the both expected outcomes. So 210 plus negative 150,000 gives us a value of 60,000. So our expected value for opening up the new outlet will be 60,000. So always remember, when we are calculating the expected value, we add up both the probability outcomes. So 210 plus negative 150,000 gives us a value of positive 60,000. And if this negative 150,000 was a positive value, then we would have added it into 210,000, as we will see in our further examples. So the simple expected value of opening up a new outlet will be 60,000. Now there is also an option where the business decides to do nothing and stick with the current situation. In this condition, you can see that the outcome is 0 because they decide to do nothing, they just remain with their existing status. So we can say that there will always be a point where we'll show in the tree diagram the option of doing nothing or staying on the same situation. So now moving on with the same example, let's see what happens if we change the probability of different outcomes. Now when the probability is changed, the expected values will also change. So now let's assume that the economic growth rising has a probability of 50% and therefore economic growth decline has a probability of 50% too. So we take the values as 0.5 and 0.5. Now in this case, as a result of economic growth rising, the expected outcome will become 0.5 multiplied by 300,000, that will be 150,000, and in case of economy declining, it will become negative 250,000. Why? Because this was a loss of 500,000. As a result, we can see that now the expected value for this new outlet opening will become negative 100,000 as compared to our positive 60,000 in the last case. So just by changing the probabilities, we see that the decision can change because the expected value is changing, and now the decision will look less favorable as the expected outcome or the expected value is in negative. Now let's look at another example, and so when we evaluate the decision tree, we will now add an initial outlay to this project. So in order to open up the new outlet, the company will have to spend 20,000. So that means that is the initial capital cost or the initial outlay of taking that decision. So keeping other things as the same, so the expected outcome if the economy increases is 300,000, and if the economy declines, that will be negative 500,000, a loss of 500,000, and 70% and 30% are the probabilities. So to calculate the expected value with the new outlet, 0.7 multiplied by 300,000 or value 210,000, and then for the economy decline, 0.3 multiplied by negative 500,000, that gives us a value of negative 150,000, and we get a positive 60,000. But now because there is an initial outlay in this example, so what we do is that we will deduct that initial outlay from this expected income of 60,000. So 60,000 minus 20,000 gives us a value of 40,000. So in this case, the expected value of opening the new outlet will be 40,000. Always remember that when we have a decision tree, we need to cross out any rejected decision, and whatever we have calculated as the expected value, that should be mentioned on the tree diagram. Do remember this to see the question carefully, and if you are given an expected an initial outlay, you must remember to subtract that initial cost of the project to get the final expected value, or what we can call as the net benefit. So the net benefit of expanding by opening a new outlet in this scenario will be 40,000 pounds. So once the value of each option has been calculated, it is added to the decision tree. Now what will happen if there is more than one activity in the case? Most of the time our questions have more than one activity, and most decision trees will have more than one option to choose from. So over here we have a product A, product B, and then do nothing. And product A can come up with two outcomes. We might have a high demand for that, low demand for that, and same for product B. And the chances for high demand is 70%, the chances for low demand 30%, and then we have the expected outcomes. So the tree above shows the choice a company will face between choosing a product A or B, and in order to choose between them we will work out the expected value for both. Do see that over here we do have an initial cost attached to both the products. So for product A that is a cost of 7 million, and for product B there is a cost of 2 million. Remember they are mentioned in negative because these are the costs, so that means this will be an outflow for the business. So which option should be chosen? You can pause this and try to calculate, and we'll move on with the solution. So guys, looking at the solution now, so we had a product A with a high demand, 70% chances of it being high in demand and 30% chances of it being low in demand, and we needed to work out the expected value. So for product A, the expected value can be calculated by taking 0.7 multiplied by 16 million, that was its outcome. We get 11.2 million. 0.3 multiplied by 6 million, that gives us 1.8 million. We add both them up to calculate the expected value, and then we deduct the 7 million initial cost. So 13 million minus 7 million gives us a value of 6 million. So the expected value for product A will be 6 million. The same procedure for product B, we calculate with the expected outcome in terms of high demand as 7.2 and then with low demand as 1.6. Add them up, we come up with 8.8, and then we deduct the initial cost of 2 million to get the expected value of 6.8 million. Now when we are making a choice between two different products or two or more options, we try to choose the one with the higher expected value. In this case, the expected value for product B is higher, that is 6.8 million as compared to 6 million of product A. However, the 0.8 million difference is a very small, or we can see that this is a narrow difference. So therefore, more qualitative factors will be important too in order to make a choice. For example, the product that is giving the company a more competitive advantage, or the future prospects of the product, or something like when the company wants to expand into a new market, so that product is more crucial for them. So things like that. So qualitative factors will also play an important role when we're making a decision. So do remember that decision trees, like I told you in the start of this video, that this is a quantitative model that tries to calculate the expected values of the different options. Now let's look another example question. Over here the company is deciding to launch a new product, or they do nothing, that means that they do not launch the new product. And if they launch the new product and there is a new competitor to that product, the probability of that happening is 70%, and if there is a new competitor, the outcome will be of 1.5 million. And if there is no competition, the chances of that happening is a 30%, and the outcome in this case will be the gain of 2.5 million. For the do nothing part, with new competitor they will face a loss of 0.5 million, and chances of that happening is 0.4, that means 40%. And with no competitor they may have a gain of 0.6 million, and the chances of that happening will be 60%. You guys can pause this and try to work out the values, and then we'll see whether they're correct. So the expected value for calculating the launch of the product, 0.7 multiplied by 1.5 gives us 1.05, and then 0.3 multiplied by 2.5 gives us 0.75. We add both of them and then we deduct the initial cost, which was of minus 1.2, the initial cost 1.2 million, and the expected value that we get is 0.6 million. In option of doing nothing, we get 0.4 multiplied by minus 0.4 gives us a value of negative 0.16, and then 0.6 multiplied by 0.6 gives us value of 0.36. Adding them up, and then there is no initial cost attached to doing nothing, so the expected value is 0.2 million. I hope the calculations that you guys made are similar and you understand what is happening over here. So, because the expected value of launching the product is definitely higher, so we choose that option and we cross out what we are not choosing. We do mention the expected values on a tree diagram. If that is, if we are asked to draw a tree diagram, we mention it on the tree diagram. So the expected value for launch is 0.6 million. So guys, now looking at the advantages and disadvantages of decision trees. First of all, decision trees do encourage a careful consideration of all the alternatives. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a quantitative model and it helps you carefully consider all your alternatives and see the expected values that are attached to that. So it also set out problems clearly and give a logical approach, because definitely we are choosing a decision that has a higher expected value, so that makes the sense because we are choosing the one with the higher gain for the business. And a quantitative numerical consideration of chance is adopted. So when we are looking at the probabilities, we are taking into account these probabilities might have been calculated on the basis of the industry averages, how the industry is performing, or from our past experiences. So that is a major advantage of decision tree, and we are taking the risk into account because probabilities are showing that. So if we are assuming that something happening good, the chances are 70%, so that means there's something going wrong will be 30% chances. Now, what can be the disadvantages of decision trees? Now, the decision trees rely on the accuracy of the data used. So, the biggest disadvantage is that these probabilities are expected, and expected values can always be different from the actual results. Qualitative factors are not considered, such as human resource, skills, motivation level, reaction, relations with suppliers. So, the decision tree model is completely ignoring all the qualitative factors. And it is also difficult to get accurate probabilities as estimated. Like I said, that these estimates are usually based on what the industry analysts are saying, how the uh, how the business believes that the outcome will be. It can be also be depending on how pessimist or optimist the person who is making the model is, because they might expect good things to happen more than uh, bad things happening. So it is difficult to get accurate probabilities, and that will require a lot of market research, and still it will still be expected value, and actual results will always differ from the expected value. And another disadvantage is that it requires a qualitative input to give a complete picture. So we cannot ignore qualitative values, qualitative information at all, because qualitative issues are more crucial and they need to be taken into account to come up with the best decision.
So guys, this was it for today. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys understood these concepts, and please do leave your comments in the boxes below, and also leave your request that what other topics would you like me to cover in my future videos. Thanks for watching.